I want y'all to pay real close attention to this whole YouTube video. It's probably almost about 30 minutes, but I want you to pay a good attention to it. I went to Marion, Illinois. I went to Carbondale, Illinois. I went to Cairo, Illinois. And it's talking about HUD. I want y'all to be able to see what HUD can do, what HUD is doing, where they doing it, and who they doing it for. Pay close attention to it, y'all, because even though these blacks down here in Charles, Missouri, when I said those blacks, if the shoe fit, wear it, is study trying to attack me and disrespect me and my family, I'm still doing stuff in Cairo, Carbondale, in Marion, in hey, how you doing, brother? I'm doing it in the name of my son who was found hung in Carbondale over 2 years ago. Good blessed Monday, April the 10th, 2023. It's about 3:53 a.m. I'm here in Marion, Illinois. A few people asked me to come down and video these new homes that they have built here in Marion, Illinois. It's in the middle of nowhere. You can see the expressway right out there where you see them cars going. But these are affordable homes that was built. These is fairly new. I think they just completed them maybe this week or last week. But they all over, and some people asked me to come down here to show if they can build things like this here in Marion when they tear down projects like in Chicago, Cairo, Illinois, even when they move people out of places in Carbondale, Illinois. If HUD can build things like this here, then here in Marion, you would think that it can be built anywhere in the United States. And these are beautiful. These are beautiful. You can see it's in the middle of nowhere. I talked to some people because on the other side, there are some that's been up already and people are living in them. They have 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. I talked to a couple and they was real friendly, but the individual that was behind them, he wasn't too friendly. And when I say he wasn't too friendly, it didn't seem like he appreciate, it seemed to me, well, I'm not going to even say it, but you know what we're dealing with in this world. But these are some beautiful homes. And like I said, if HUD can do it here, then they can do it in Chicago instead of when they tear down one project, put people in places where they know certain gangs don't get along with each other, and they pile them together, and then you have shooting and killing. You see how beautiful this is? But at the same time, when they do build nice things like this here, you don't want anybody coming out here. You can see you're in the middle of nowhere. Another thing is, hey, I don't think there's any supermarkets or nothing close by here, but I talked to the people that was friendly, and they told me that they do have public transportation that actually come out to these places right here and only charge people $2. And you can't beat that. If you can look over here, people live in those where you see them cars at over there. They live in those already, and this is like just walking right across the road, and you in here. See how beautiful this is? This is affordable homes, y'all, in Marion, Illinois. You got a lot of these people. This is HUD money, but you got a lot of these other people that's getting grant money saying that they helping people. If you want to help somebody, then help them get here. But you're looking You see what you're in the middle of nowhere. But I'm gonna go for right now and go and see the front of the place so y'all can see the name of it. Now these here been built. These is a part of those too. They've been up for maybe about 2 or 3 years. The red building there, that's the office. They said it goes by your income. You can see where you're in the middle of nowhere. And if you look over here, where the new ones is at, you can see some of the drain piping still out here. But we're gonna go in the front of the building and show you the front. But like I said, it's nice out here, but you're in the middle of nowhere. This is the name of the little houses, apartments. One of them is called Lincoln Village, and you can see the phone number there, 618-457-5312. You can see the address. It looks like Water Management, 1727 West Main Street, I guess in Carbondale. But this is the other one here, and I believe them is the newer ones. This is Rolling Meadows. Rolling Meadows is in Chicago suburb, but Rolling Acres Apartments. So if anybody interested, you know, you'd be in the middle of nowhere, but it's pretty nice area. I mean, pretty nice place. But I don't know if everybody accepts it. But they do go according to your income. Well, just seeing the sign. It say rolling acres coming soon.
56 units.
56 units, y'all.
Affordable housing.
Affordable housing complex. Now I'm back here in Carbondale, Illinois. We was in Marion, Illinois earlier. But these here is what they call the George Town homes, where when they evicted, forced blacks to move from up out of Cairo, Illinois projects, and moved them here to these Georgetown home apartments. It wasn't long after that it changed the ownership, and a Mexican individual by the name of Juarez or something like that bought these, and he gave the tenants eviction notice and told them that they couldn't renew their leases. And you can see what's going on with them right now. I guess he said he was going to renovate them. But my point is, where I just took y'all to in Marion, Illinois, when they kicked them out of their homes in Cairo, Illinois last year, and then in 2017, instead of bringing them to things like this here, why couldn't they do like they did in Marion, Illinois, and build some new places for the people to stay instead of doing this here? And then right across the street, it was a school for the children. But you see right there, right on the side of it, right across the street there is where SIU, Southern Illinois University, rent out places to their students. But they take people like in Cairo, Illinois, Chicago, Illinois, and they force them into the projects. Then when they see that they can build better things, like in Chicago, Cabrini Green, they seen downtown after years, they got everybody out and tore it out and made condominiums. Cairo, Illinois, it's a cycle. Charleston, Missouri, don't be careful, they gonna do the same to them, but this time they're gonna give it to the farmers. But I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. I just want y'all to see, they forced them to move out of Cairo, Illinois to here, to Carbondale, Illinois. Now they was forced to move out of these here. Some of them going to all different places. All these people getting this government grant money when HUD pays for everything anyway. See, it's a game with a lot of these black people. That's why some people don't like when I criticize some black people. It's games with some of these black people. All they want to do is get grant money. It's okay to get grant money, but don't say you paying to have these people move. That ain't your job. That's HUD job. I was at a meeting where HUD says they pays for the boxes, they pays for the transportation, they pays for relocation. But let me get on up out of here, y'all, because some of these black political people, the whites ain't attack me, but some of these black political people attack me because I'm setting them out, stealing money. This is the Cornell F. Smith Senior Building, one of the buildings that they're in Cairo, Illinois, what they about to tear down and relocate people again. I showed y'all in Marion and in Carbondale where they tore down the projects here in 2017 in Cairo, Illinois, and placed the people in Carbondale, Illinois, and y'all seen what happened there. After a while, they was evicted from there and scattered around. It's sad. You can see some of it is boarded up. They still have some people living in. People didn't want to leave, but this building is set to be condemned, and they got a few black people here in Cairo, Illinois, stretching all the way to Carbondale and Marion, Illinois, that's getting grant money, saying that they helping these people to be relocated. And I was just in this building, in the next building where the office is at for these particular buildings, where HUD said it out of their mouth. They pay for the relocation, they pay for the boxes, they pays for everything. So the individuals that's getting the grant money, saying that they helping these people relocate, they just getting money. But you seen how nice them things looked in Marion, Illinois. If they can do that in Marion, they can do it right here in Cairo. People shouldn't have to move out of here. In this area here, they want them out. Let me tell you why. This whole stretch, the Underground Railroad, this is one of the stops for Harriet Tubman. This is one of the stops for the Underground Railroad. They want to get rid of this here. You see what I'm saying? So these people that had these multimillionaires, they claiming to build a port. They done got 40-something, I believe, $1 million to build a port here in Cairo, Illinois. But you see what's here, don't you? See, this is what Underground Railroad was at. This is one of the stops. But they want them moved out. This building is set to be condemned because they said earthquake's gonna tear it down. Let me take you around the corner. But remember, this is Underground Railroad, y'all. People don't know where they finna move from. This is where Harriet Tubman was bringing some of the free slaves. Now this building here, this is the shoemaker building. This is their office. Look at that. Got a little, look like a little Underground Railroad there, don't it? Going from one building to the next. But people don't know this building, this is the shoemaker building. This is another project here. The office is here. But guess what? They're gonna tear this down too. They're gonna tear this building down too. Look at the surrounding, y'all. All that land in Marion, Illinois. You seen how the developers, HUD had the developers build them things out there. And I hate to say it, it's from that area. Look, it's majority white, but I'm not saying nothing about white people. But look, you see what I'm saying? Let's take a look at the building, y'all. These people don't know that they next. This is their office. The shoemaker building. How y'all doing this morning? All right. Y'all know they gonna get this one here next, don't you?
How you figure that?
Oh, I know already. I'm an investigator, man. I'm a YouTuber, and I was at a couple of the meetings.
Okay.
When they get through with this one, they gonna tear this one here down too.
I got a feeling it ain't going down.
Okay, it's all right to have that feeling.
Hey, they weeding and seed right now.
Hey, it's all right to have that feeling.
They weeding
But
and
this
seed.
is the brothers said that they don't believe it's gonna happen. See, they didn't believe they was gonna get that one.
I don't think they're going to tear it down.
You don't think they're gonna tear that one down either?
They weeding and seed. If all them motherfuckers was white folks, they wouldn't even be talking.
Oh, hot, there it is. Hey, you want to be interviewed?
They've been up.
You want to be interviewed?
Nope.
Okay, that's all right. But what you saying is true. See, I just came from Marion, Illinois, where most of the people, where Carbondale and Marion,
Yeah.
when they tore the other projects down,
And relocated.
and they got kicked out of there.
Yeah, they got
And I
kicked
went
out
to
of there.
Marion to show. That's why I'm showing this. They built the area is majority white. I'm talking about HUD got all new things, just like they did it there.
Yeah.
Guess where else they can do it? Right here. Do y'all know on that street right there?
When they tore down PC and Elmwood,
Do y'all know? Right. Do y'all that back in
it
two,
cost more to tear PC down than it would to
back in 2017 when they tore it down? Hey, I ain't gonna get y'all. I ain't gonna put y'all on there. But y'all know that y'all ain't gonna be that same street out there
Yeah.
where the stop sign is at. Do you know what history is right there that they trying to cover up? Y'all ain't gonna be on it. Harriet Tubman, the Underground Railroad. You already know it.
I'm on it. I'm on it. I
So
done-
what
I
I'm
done
saying
read
is
the
true,
history.
ain't a man.
I done read the history.
But you know what, people got to start speaking up.
They just closed the Missouri
Hey.
Bridge down.
I know it.
You know what?
Did y'all know that they gave him
Every- hey.
$40 some million to build that port? They ain't even started on it, have it?
Yeah.
The money gone.
Hey,
Nobody
look.
know where the money is.
Wait, say that again so they can hear.
Nobody know where.
No, they know where the money at.
They know where it's at.
How you get
They
these
weeding
money?
and seeding. Soon
But
as they get
nobody
done,
know.
it's like Donald Trump.
Now
Make
you said
Carol
a key
great
thing,
again.
and you white now. Would you agree with him? If this was majority white, they wouldn't be doing all this tore up stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm leave. But if y'all
Hey.
get on YouTube, get somebody
They
to show
doing
y'all.
Donald-
I want
it's-
y'all to be
hey,
able to see
it's-
the what they redeveloped in Marion. They ain't the ones that they took from here. They
Yeah.
ain't sitting them there. But I'm gonna cut it off from now. But I just want
Hey.
you. I want to let it be known
They
one more
need to
time
see.
that $40-some million
called Make Carol
do they
Great
know
Again.
what? To make what?
Make Carol great again.
Donald who?
That's that Donald Trump.
Donald who?
Make Carol great again.
Hey, can y'all say peace be still?
Peace,
Everybody, it's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
We have the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Marsha Fudge. Welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
How are you feeling today?
I feel wonderful.
Absolutely.
Are you?
I am blessed, black, and highly favored.
I like it.
Well, you have a lot of work to do.
I do. I do. But I've been looking forward to this.
Okay.
Well, for people that don't know, what is the job of the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development?
Primarily, our mission is to make sure that people, especially underserved communities, get decent housing. It's just really that simple. In addition to which, we are the voice of cities across America because we are the people who provide block grant dollars, home dollars, all of the things that help them create an environment in which people can live safely in their own community. So in a nutshell, that's really pretty much it.
This is the position that Ben Carson had prior to you, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so he created the opportunity zones while he was there. What do you think about that? Because I've heard conflicting accounts of whether or not that's beneficial for.
I think it has a potential to be beneficial. I don't think that it was probably used to its best and highest use. And so as a consequence, people who were the big developers and the people who had the big money got all the money, as opposed to making sure that it did what it was intended to do, which was to make sure that people had an opportunity to create jobs and to do development in their communities and not just have people come in with the biggest dollar.
It didn't necessarily help black people. It helped people who had money that was able to get some of those tax breaks and opportunity zones. So at first, everybody thought it was just for black people. Oh, black people is, but it was for people to get breaks. And I didn't think it was great for our people because usually we're the ones that don't have the money.
It's people who could afford
You sound like
to
Mr.
invest.
Clyburn. That's what Mr. Clyburn felt,
No,
too.
you said it in a way that you just said it nicer than what I said it.
Yeah,
but
yep, same thing.
absolutely right. We did not benefit from the opportunity zones in a way that we should have. Very few people did. They didn't create a lot of jobs, and we didn't get the resources that we should have.
So how do you fix it moving forward, or do you abandon it?
Oh, I don't think so. I think that we do the assessment that we are now doing to determine how we can make it better. I think that once you have something like that that has the potential to really help our people, then you don't just throw it out.
And that's not the first time. Like they had legislation like that before, right? It just wasn't called opportunity zone.
Right. It was called empowerment zones.
Empowerment
it was
zone.
Close. But empowerment zones were really very different because at the time,
Ms. Fudge, I just need you to put the mic a little closer so we can.
at the time, we made sure that people in our communities received those resources. You will find black businesses today that will say to you that they became millionaires because of empowerment zones. We've not created any black millionaires from the federal government in a very long time. And so we have to find a way to increase not just the opportunity, but we have to be intentional about making sure that black people get a piece of the pie. So as we look at what we do at HUD, and we're looking at this now across all of government, we're increasing at least by 50% the participation in our purchasing. It's going to be $100 billion over the next 5 years. And we're making sure that our people get a piece of that pie. And that's what I think all of it should be about.
How are we making sure of that?
Well, because we have been directed actually by the president to increase our purchasing with small and minority-owned businesses. When you think about how much money we spend as a government, if we just start to include more 8A, more small businesses, more black-owned women businesses, we're going to create an environment in which people can really benefit off the largesse of the government. Because right now, it's not our people getting it.
How do we ensure that? How do we ensure that we don't get just looked over? And, a lot of times, even with the president, you say stuff now, and then when it gets down to it, it's like, oh, well, we just can't get it done at the time, because this is a big thing. And a lot of our people are starting to get into real estate. They're starting to buy properties. They're starting to open small businesses. But, like with the opportunity zones and a lot of other grants, but if we can't get a loan, we can't get a loan, or if we don't know what we're doing, or we're having hard times, or we're getting hit with taxes. And then when you look at companies like a Google or Amazon, and they don't pay taxes. So how do we make sure that our people can catch up?
You put people like me in charge. That's what you do. I mean, elections have consequences.
Correct.
So if you put the right people in place, it will get done. I don't expect the president to make sure that I'm doing my job every day. He has directed us what to do. I'm going to do it anyway. So I think you have to make sure that you have the right players in place to make it work. That's the only way you can guarantee it.
I want to ask them about the origin of HUD. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't HUD a response to the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.?
Well, HUD became an agency where we passed the Fair Housing Act in 1968. It came out of the Civil Rights Movement, as did all of those Great Society programs, whether it be education, housing. All of those came out of Great Society. After the Civil Rights Movement, after the Voting Rights Act was passed, Civil Rights Act, this was the next series of things to say, let's try to right the ship. We have been mistreating black people and poor people for far too long. Let's look at a way to try to make it, to level the playing field. So you're right, absolutely right.
Okay.
Now, this is a really complicated time because of the pandemic, and it directly affects obviously what you do for people when it comes to housing. We've seen so many people having to deal with rents going up and prices of homes going up. So what are some things that can be implemented? And I want you to also talk about the Build Back Better plan, which we're still struggling to see how we can get any of that passed.
Well, look, can I start there? I'm going to start with Build Back Better. In the Build Back Better Act, there is currently $150 billion set aside just to do housing. So of that amount, probably about 40 to 50 billion will just go to make public housing decent again. You know, we have disinvested in communities for far too long. About 20 years ago, HUD's budget was about 7% of the entire federal budget. Today it is 1%. So we have disinvested in our communities. We have stopped building housing, but in that plan, there's more than $100 million to do down payment assistance. There is what we call housing trust money to lower the cost. We are raising the cap on low-income housing tax credits. We are working on zoning. We're doing a lot of things to make it easier and less expensive to build, whether it be 3D printing, whether it be tiny homes, whatever it is, we are doing. And the other thing that we're doing, and that we already have been doing, is setting aside resources now to build up to 100,000 houses over the next few years by working with state housing finance agencies, by creating home programs that are flexible. And lastly, I think that it is important, especially for us, as we talk about housing. Just in the last week, we did a point-in-time count, which is what we call it, about homelessness. People don't realize that about 40% of the homeless people in this country are Black. And that there is a growing number of them who are families with children and senior citizens. And so in the rescue plan, there is $10 billion to deal with housing just for homeless. So if you take the housing money for the homeless, if you take the resources we're putting in already in the budget and then add on that Build Back Better, we can really make a dent in the lack of housing in this country. Low income housing and moderate income housing. There's a lot of other housing.
What are the steps to handle the homelessness issue? I mean, of course, the money is there, but what are the steps to actually get people off the street? Different
communities are doing it differently. And I was in California. They're buying up hotels, basically old motels and hotels. In D.C., they are creating new communities of housing, building new housing to get people permanent housing. It's happening differently all over the United States, but we have a program called House America, which is designed to get cities and county and state governments to commit to us that they're going to build a certain amount of housing over the next year. So far this year, we have 70 partners between mayors and governors who have committed to build a certain number of housing to get homeless people off the street. It is a crisis that no one really...
I'm just going to end this by saying I said earlier in the YouTube when I was in Marion that it was 3:53 a.m., but you could all see it was daylight. It was 3:53 p.m. But my main thing is, I want to tell y'all, if you watch that real closely, those of us that grew up in Cabrini Green, we know when they tore Cabrini Green down, what they said that they was going to give the people in Cabrini Green. We see what they did. They built all of those $200,000-$300,000 condominiums. We seen what they did in St. Louis. We seen what they did in Cairo, Illinois. Excuse me. And if we not careful, they're going to continue to do the same thing. But it's blacks that's getting some of that HUD money and spending it on themselves and their friends. All you got to do is look. Look here in Charleston, Missouri. Look in Cairo, Illinois. Look in Carbondale. Even look in Chicago. Y'all wake up. Why y'all attacking me? I'm talking about the black folks. And you know who you are. If the shoe fit, wear it. You so ignorant. The people trying to make sure you don't have a place to stay. See, my son was homeless. And what this HUD lady talk about is talking concerning the homeless people. But you see in Carbondale, Illinois, they didn't care about my son. All they cared about is money. Look at some of them blacks that's on city council in Carbondale, Illinois. Peace be still.